Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aussie Formula Racing Season 6, Round 10 from Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, Spain. We're here for our Tier 1 and Tier 2 races this evening, starting with Tier 1. We're just loading into the qualifying session now, so we'll have a bit of a weather update for you shortly. Here in Spain for the 4.6 kilometre circuit, 16 turns. One DRS zone, no, two DRS zones, one on the pit straight, one on the back straight, and total 16 corners. Bit of action last season, back in Season 4 in fact, between Shrimp and myself. Shrimp running a little bit wide in the exit of turn 4, losing the rear, drifting across the track and just losing his front wing on the back of the Ferrari there, getting a bit of damage. It's a very old-fashioned circuit, grass right up to the edge of the track, so no concrete runoff. We had here last season as well. Bit of a concertina on the first lap at turn 7. Gus Rules, Ali Timac and Mattia Dabri. So we had Ali running into the back of the AlphaTauri, and a bit of a collision there with the Haas ending up in the gravel trap, bringing out the safety car on the opening lap of the race. Turn 9's another tricky one. Can almost take it flat, but if you get it wrong, you end up like Mikau there in Season 4, spinning off the AstroTurf on the outside and across into the inside wall and ending his race there, bringing out the safety car. Last season we had a bit of rain come in. Matt Soyd there, turn 11, just on throttle, and the rears lit up, spinning him around. Came into the pits to get the intermediate tyre shortly after that. So very low grip here when it starts to rain, especially when you're on those hard compound tyres. And same race, turn 16, Big Al in a good position there, and unfortunately just lit up the rears on the exit curve of the final corner and spun into the pit wall there, ending his race, who did still get concluded in the results, but just outside the points there, unfortunately. Now, just here for the qualifying session now, we've got Apollo Pepsi, of course, is out first. Some of the track information for you. Here we go. It's Apollo Pepsi about to start his first flying lap. Here we go. McLaren Grover getting pretty decent exit out of the final corner. ERS wide open. ERS deployment underway. Moves right across over the curb on the outside, entry the corner. Keeps it nice and tight through turn 3. Lets it drift out wide. G'day mate, how you doing? Coming up to a little bit of traffic as he gets to turn 4. Let's run out quite wide. And he's just clipped that grass, but I think he's just kept it together. A bit of a lock-up going into turn 5 there. And that was the corner back there where we saw Shrimp lose it on the exit. Hey Ali, how are you? Bit of a lock up again, coming into turn 6, 7 chicane. Now around to turn 8. Keeps it to a little lift. Let's run down to turn 8. No lock up. Not too bad. Just a little bit of a curve at turn 9. Down to turn 10. All track available. Turn 11, misses that sausage curve. Bit of traffic staying out of the way there. Could have been a bit distracting, but it does pretty well. Stays off the sausage curve. It's actually a pretty tidy lap here from Pepsi. And he comes across the DRS range. He's ran out of ERS, and it sets 115.193. So a pretty solid bank lap there from Apollo Pepsi. And you'll be hoping that he'll be able to improve on that time a bit later in the session as the track rubbers up. Going to jump a little bit further back to Wahid, who is that Williams we saw in the final sector staying out of the McLaren's way. Let's see what kind of times he's going to be doing there. McLaren staying off the racing line there, returning the favour. Quite using as much track there as Tring sets a 114.697, so good lap there from the Ferrari driver. Joined in the commentary box tonight by Bandcamp. How are you?
Too bad, and yourself?
Not too bad after having another sleep until about 4 p.m.
Yeah, that's it.
As you're not aware, Band and I competed in the Nürburgring 24 hours, so apologies if we're a little bit down on our usual high spirits. Very, very long race, that one.
Yes,
Sleep
it was.
had. Any news on the weather for tonight's race?
So we have a dry qualifying and a full heavy wet race.
Ooh, spicy. Alright. So that's why we're seeing everyone on the soft tyre. Normally you'd want to try and qualify in the medium if you can here, just to get the medium hard strategy working, but obviously full wet conditions means you'll start on the extreme tyres. And yeah, it's probably going to be a one-stop then. I think the wets can last more than half the race. Bait mate
Yeah.
gives Bandcamp a shout out in the chat there. Big boy band.
Thank you. Hello.
So yeah, so that's going to be an interesting one, and like we saw in the preamble there, it's very tricky here when it starts to rain. We saw Big Al lose it at the final corner in DNF, like the last couple of laps of the race. See why he bought his lap here. And
I will say that overtaking here in the dry is quite challenging. When it's wet, it's almost impossible. You need an extreme advantage over the car in front to be able to make a move here.
Yeah, I think though we will see quite a few mistakes coming from the drivers though in the wet conditions, but yeah, like you say, I don't know that it's going to be difficult to overtake per se, but I think people will have trouble following, I guess, if that makes sense, just because we've seen, like in Hungary last week, during the wet conditions, the margins between the drivers can blow out quite a bit, so hopefully they've all done their wet practice during the week, and we'll see some good battles. Obviously no DRS when it's going to be raining.
Well, here it's extremely true. When it's one thing to catch, it's another thing to get past. So
yeah, absolutely.
We will see.
So with Fever as he comes around the final corner, set his first lap of the qualifying session, and goes provisional pole with a 1:14.111. So I think it's highly likely we'll see someone into the 13s here. Jump back with Pacey, who's purple in the first sector apparently.
Sid has also joined the session.
Excellent. So we've got the one fill-in driver tonight. So we've got Seb filling in for Stars in the racing point there alongside Mikau. I believe is currently leading the championship from FIBA, but it's quite close. So it's great that we're almost halfway through the season and there's still only a handful of points in it. Pacey coming into the last couple of corners. And of course we'll see a slightly different layout of second to Barcelona-Catalunya this year's F1 2021 game. A few changes being made to the turn 9 corner, I think, at the end of the back DRS straight. Pacey set to 1:14.985.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about any track changes, but combined about to come up slide 16.8.
And Fever's retired.
In the pits, so I think, yeah, that's interesting.
And Sid goes third fastest with the 1:14.420. Pondon starting a lap now. Yes, Sid was disqualified because he stopped in the pit exit. So after setting the third fastest time in the session, he's immediately moved to the back of the grid. Oh no. Red Bull, what is happening down there? Yeah, so the track changes for Barcelona is, the end of the back DRS straight. I believe they're opening up the corner a little bit. So yeah, I think the idea is that it's meant to encourage more overtaking, but yeah, not sure that's the corner I would have chosen to improve. Because there is that GT line that they've got a little bit further, it's a bit deeper. I would have thought, yeah, if they made the straight a little bit longer, it'd be a bit easier to overtake there, because it's just a little bit too short for the F1 cars to really be able to make a pass. So
yeah. I was just going to say with Sid, maybe he's got the second driver at Red Bull.
The cursed Red Bull.
Yeah.
Well, Miguel's currently in the pits with no time against his name, so maybe they're both cursed.
Well, he's just biding his time.
There's Wahid coming around the final corner. And he's gone P9 with the 1:14.989, which bumps him down again because I believe that's Panda setting a 1:14.823. So good time from him as well. Fondant is not on a lap, no, saying 0 laps, but he's on 1. Interesting that Beaver retired there. Maybe he's beaten his personal best already and he says, no, that's enough, or...
I mean, possible. Macau about to start a lap. But, yeah, he's set the bar pretty high.
Interesting, it looks like Macau's gone out on used softs.
No.
It's got 1 lap on the information for me.
Not on my
I had the wrong detail thing on, that's why. Never mind, as you were. He's invalidated.
Oh, he's already...
Yeah, turn 1 and 2 chicane. It's unfortunate. We're going to jump back with PTR, who returns to Tier 1 after a race ban for accumulated penalty points. Good to see him back. Hopefully he's able to keep his nose clean for the rest of the season. So he's a very, very quick driver. We've seen, especially qualifying, he's always towards the pointy end of the grid, and he just always seems to find himself in some trouble during the race, whether it's crashing out of his zone or getting caught up in an incident with some other cars. And I really hope that it's a bit of a turning point for him for the season. We'll jump with the Ferrari of Trin, who's currently in Sector 2 on his flying lap. Oh, it's nearly Spinella, nearly. Yes, thank you, Ali. Big Al is your brother. You got a shout out in the 24-hour stream as well, so...
I wasn't sure. Oh, that's good to know.
We got Matt Soyd from AlphaTauri starting his flying lap now. His teammate currently in P9 with a 1:14.985. Looks like he's just coming into Sector 3 now as well. Using lots of the track there through turn 4. Lots of short shifting as well. Here just to get on top of the revs. Don't want to get too much wheel spin. Through the chicane, much more planted than the Ferrari. Oh, and I don't know how that wasn't an invalidation there. He looked like he had all 4 on the curb. Turning there for turn 7 or 8, I think it is. Yeah, anyway. And hasn't invalidated. He's still pushing. Looks like Pacey has invalidated that lap as well that he was on. He's coming to the pits. Last couple of corners now. Going to stay off those sausage curves. Didn't quite use as much as the exit curve as he would have liked there. But he does have a lot more ERS in the bank than the other cars did. And he comes across the line just in front of his teammate with the 1:14.905 in P10. T-Mac, the Mercedes, just about to come across the line as well and finish his lap. And 1:15.212 is P14. And we've got Smitty as well, who's coming to the pits now. He's been on those softs for 2 laps, so I'd say he invalidated his first run there. Currently, he had out of position there. His teammate's up in 7th, and he speeds through into the pit lane there as well. Okay, we've got about 4 minutes left in the session, so we'll be seeing most of the drivers coming out now to start their final runs. A few drivers out there at the moment, but it looks like they've all invalidated. And Peter coming across to finish another lap. That was P5, 1:14.515. And he retires on track in qualifying. Hopefully he doesn't impede anyone. Looks like there's no one behind him. And he's left the session as well. That's an interesting one.
Geordie on an outlap. So I think he'll be the next one to start a timed lap. And it will probably be his last for the session.
About 3 minutes left. So he does have enough time that if he invalidates, he should be able to turn everything off and go around again. But yeah, really only have time for one push lap. And here we go. Lines it up. Goes. Peter has no force feedback, so he's restarting his PC. Fever as well. I'm not sure if that was an accidental retirement. And we've got a couple of spammers there in the chat. If one of the mods can block them, please. Pretty tidy from Geordie so far. Next sector split will be at the end of the DRS straight. Slight list there, but really stable. So 10th up, and that'll jump him up to P4 at the moment.
Might be enough for P3 if you can find a little bit in this final sector.
Bit wide in the final corner. Didn't keep it as tight as a lot of the others, and yeah, he's just under a 10th gain there, so he's up to P4 now.
So close between 3rd, 4th and 5th. Wow.
Thank you, Nut, for doing the mod work this evening. Atanas has got a 5-place grid penalty for blocking, so he's currently in P7 and he's on an outlap. And it looked like, is that a Alfa Romeo Flyboy in the final sector? May have been impeded there. Saw a yellow flag pop up.
I don't know.
But yeah, the game has issued Atanas a penalty for that, so very unfortunate for him. Jump on board and see what kind of time he can do.
Less than a minute remaining.
Yeah, so everyone on track at the moment should be able to get past for another lap. Haas looking very stable there through the chicane. Keeps it in 6th gear though through the fast right-hander. Most of the others were going up to 7th and just doing a slight lift, but Atanas preferring to use the engine braking method. Comes through the last couple of corners now. Ooh, a little bit loose in the rear there, and the exit of the right-hander.
That's the end of the session.
Comes across the line and goes P2. So gained 3 tenths there on that lap, but obviously that 5-place grid penalty will put him down to 7. Go back and see Mikau's quite close to crossing the line now. Pacey has set a 1:14.414, good enough for 4th place. Split the racing points, but they're both come across the line now. Mikau still got a bit of ERS in the tank there, so he's managed that perfectly. Gains 2.5 tenths, and he's just 4 thousandths of a second behind Fever for P2. And Seb comes across the line with a 1:14.416, just 2 thousandths of a second behind Pacey, who's in P4. The Ferrari of Tring comes across the line next. Improves by a tenth, but does not gain any positions from that. We've got a McLaren of Apollo Pepsi goes across for 10th place with a 1:14.616. We've got the Red Bull of Big Al also about to cross the line now. And goes P3 with a 1:14.300, 16 thousandths of a second quicker than Artanis. We also saw, I think it was Panda coming across the line with a 1:14.445, just pipping Geordie there for P7. And we've got the Renault of Jacob Meister about to cross the line as well. Goes P15 with 1:15.254. And I think that's comes across line, but he's invalidated that lap. And there's a very slow Williams there in the final corner. Looks like both half drivers coming across the line. Pondon is 5.5 seconds down on his best time. And I think that's it.
I believe the AI Williams of Geordie may have impeded Smitty there on that final corner.
Yeah, that's why we don't retire during qualifying sessions. You need to either bin it in the wall or bring it into the pits and then retire. So yeah, that's unfortunate for Smitty there if he was blocked. So we have pole position. Fieber, who retired right at the start of the session, still managed to hold on for pole position by 0.04 of a second from Mikau in P2. Big Al, again, another solid qualifying result from him in P3 there. Tanis, unfortunate to pick up a 5-place grid penalty, will start from 9th, even though he qualified 4th. We've then got Pacey in P5. Seb just 2,000 behind him in 6th. Panda in 7th as well in the 114.4s. We then also have Geordie in P8 with a 114.451. Peter P9 and Trin P10. Have a look there. We've got top 13 covered by less than a second, and the entire grid covered by 1.7. So very, very competitive qualifying there. But of course, wet race, anything can happen. And it's supposed to be full wet for the entire duration, but you never know.
Oh, that is very heavy rain.
Could transition to intermediate. I like the effect. Is that a bit of oil on the next to the concrete there?
So that, no?
No, or is that just a reflection of the DHL logo?
Yeah.
Giving Codemasters too much credit there for their
Yeah.
graphics. I don't know.
But how about the power move from Fieber coming out doing one lap,
one shot quality
from the session?
That'll do. That's good enough.
Come at me, lads. Come at me.
And he did it. Big brain move there. Saved the tyres as well. So if there is a clear period at the end, he's going to have fresh softs. So,
I think he rattled some of the front runners with that kind of power move.
Nothing in it though. Mikau also delivering a really top quality lap there, just 0.04 of a second behind him. You know, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Like you can't even notice that kind of difference on the track. So that's a great result for him. Yeah, wow. I imagine what Tommy would have done if he'd set a couple more laps on the track and rub it up. I reckon he would have been in the 13s for sure.
Well, I think this formation lap is going to be incredibly important for the drivers to get a feel for the conditions and for the cars and see how their setups go as we are just waiting for combined now. There we go.
Yeah, I wonder how many are going to chuck on a bit of traction control for this race.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look here. Unsurprisingly, everyone opting to start on the extreme wet tyres.
And Artanis out of position with that 5-place penalty, so he's starting down in 9th.
Oh.
And Flyboy and Smitty have come together. Oh.
They're going to have some very cold wet tyres at the back of the grid there, so watch out.
Oh, they are.
Turn 1.
Oh, the Ferrari team and association is not going to be happy with that.
Absolutely. That said, I mean, Smitty a bit out of position there. I'm not sure if there was some impeding happening on that final lap, but yeah, he's good 8 positions behind his teammate, so this is not what he would have wanted. And just look how far ahead Fieber is. Like, Mikau's a few seconds behind him, and Big Al's a few seconds behind Mikau, so he's starting to bunch up the field now. He's just noticed the gap on the back DRS straight. Of course, there will be no DRS until the weather clears. Race control will advise us when that happens. But yeah, this field is so spread out.
Yeah. That's why it's something you've really got to manage from the start of the formation lap. Because by the time it's too hard to try and build the temperatures and maintain them going this slowly in the final sector. So all you're really doing is hurting yourself. You really need to work at managing it from the start of the lap.
Absolutely. absolutely. And the Mercedes T-Mac appeared to have an issue, so he's meant to be up in P14, but it looked like he had a bit of a spin going through the chicane, and yeah, he was just turning onto the straight as FIBA was going through the final chicane.
Yeah.
So,
well, that would explain the large gap in the field with a few drivers probably trying to not cause a collision.
apparently Smitty couldn't see anything because of the spray, and that led to the collision
Oh,
with the Alfa
here
Romeo.
we go. Here we go. Already. Come on. It's wet. How you going to go lap 1? Here we go. Get ready.
We'll find out
Get
soon.
off the keyboard. Get off the keyboard. Here we go, son.
Alright, last couple of cars pulling up on the grids. You see all the flashing wet indicators. That's for visibility reasons, because you will not be able to see anything once the spray's up. Just waiting for the lights to come on. Still waiting. Still waiting. The suspense is killing me.
Are we going to get the yellow lights go around again?
Someone's obviously got a bit of a connection issue. There we go. Lights coming on now. The engines are revving. And they're away. Very, very slowly they are away. Looks like everyone's just... Oh, there's a bit of contact there between the Alfa Romeo and the Haas, and it looks like one of the Alfa Tauris and the Ferraris have gone off, and there's a bit of debris flying back there. Not sure who that was, but there's definitely someone's broken a wing. Let's have a look further back. The AlphaTauri has a look at the Williams into turn 1. Couldn't quite get alongside there. It's pushed out a little wide. So once they got to turns 1 and 2, they were alright, but it looks like the Mercedes and the AlphaTauri are still going side by side on the run into turn 4. As in front, we've got the Williams and the Racing Point. Geordie managed to go up to P2, so great effort by him to get past Mikau, but Mikau's not quite done yet. They're going to run into turn 5. They're still side by side. You see the red light of the... Oh, there's a bit of contact there between the Williams and the Racing Point. And Geordie's managed to get hold of that position. Going to have a little bit of a look back through the field.
Pondon's missing his right end plate from turn 1, I believe.
Got the Ferrari of Smitty and Matzoid in the AlphaTauri going at it at the back of the grid. And Smitty winning that battle. FIBA, 1.2 second gap already away from Geordie at the front. Peter looks like he's dropped back through the field a little bit. He's lost 3 positions, but T-Mac up 4 and Sid up 8 spots from the back of the grid is now in P12. Oh, we've got a yellow flag at the back. Looks like one of the Haas has gone around. That Pondon peeling off the pits.
No, he's coming into the pits, yeah.
Now Matzoid's got a decent run out of the final corner. We've got a little train of 4 cars here. Coming into turn 1. Starting to position themselves on the inside. Ferrari and the AlphaTauri still battling side by side through the first couple of corners. And the Ferrari still maintains position. The AlphaTauri runs out a bit wide there and got to go a bit further up front. Looks like had a bit of a battle there with the Mercedes of T-Mac. Here we go, side by side with the Ferrari into turn 5. Ferrari covering that inside line. You see there's quite a bit of standing water off the racing line there. And look at that poor visibility there. That hardly see anything through the spray. Great shot there from the onboard of the Mercedes. Into turn 9. Still battling a bit further back between the Ferrari and the AlphaTauri. As the Red Bull Big Al gets past the McLaren of Apollo Pepsi. The gap in the lead still holding around about 1 second, so Geordie's doing a great job. Oh no, it's just blown out to 1.8 seconds. So timing was a little bit out there. And yeah, FIBA really started to run away with it. Mikau just half a second behind.
Sid has worked his way up into 11th so far after being disqualified from the session from quali.
Fever's really benefiting from having clean air. He's not going to have all this spray to deal with, so he's going to be able to pick all of his braking points and apexes really well. Geordie just not able to keep up with McLaren's pace. That's a fair train for me for the rest of the midfield positions. From Panda all the way down to Trenton P12. What was the Alpha Romeo of Peter? Very racy against the Haas of Atanas. See the rain still very, very heavy here. Of raindrops on the front wing there of the Haas of the Alfa Romeo, sorry. That's very wide, nearly losing the rear of the car there on the exit curve. We saw Miguel do that last season. There's Seb filling in the racing point. A little bit of pressure now from the Red Bull of Miguel.
I believe he is the brother of one of our viewers, Ali, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's a little known fact, that one. So we've got further back, Smitty. Got those tyres up to temperature after colliding with Flyboy on the formation lap. He's right on the back of Combine's gearbox there in the Renault. Quite close enough at the moment. Yeah, Seb definitely proving to be a bit of a cork in the bottle at the moment. There's a lot of cars banking up behind him. Just wonder how long until Big Al decides to take a bit of a risk and get the move done. He's still a second behind him. I'm surprised as well, Mikau's not really been able to close the gap to Geordie. It's sat around about half a second, and as Peter picks up our first penalty of the evening, he's just not able to get into a position where he can make a move. Well, Geordie's done very well to get that track position and also hold it. As you see the Haas of Artanis. Have a look at Pepsi.
Yeah, Pepsi had a poor exit out of the chicane, but yeah, this is what I was talking about. It's just can't even get alongside.
Yeah, without DRS, these cars really struggle with straight line speed. To be able to get a move done by the end of the straight, you really need someone to make a pretty big mistake to get it done. Ooh, looks like Peter there having a big moment, loose moment through turn 4. And he's now got Sid for company. He wants to get back into the points. Now getting a little bit closer to Geordie. Keep an eye on that one on the pit straight.
PTR and Artanis trading places in the chicane.
Still side by side. Peter taking all of the sausage curb on the inside there. Side by side through the final corner. This is not going to end well. Oh, they sorted it out, but now Sid has got a decent run on Artanis as well. Artanis does have the toe. It's not going to be enough to keep him in front. Sid looks like he's covering the inside now, so if he's a little bit later on the brakes, he'll be able to get it done, and he does. Artanis losing 2 positions in the space of a couple of corners. That little battle's kind of dropped them off the train for 6. So now just Seb, BL and Apollo up there at the moment. We do have another one forming a bit further down. Looks like Trin's got a bit of a train starting to form.
So Geordie 3.5 seconds back from Fever in the lead at the moment. But he does have Macau keeping him honest.
It's Miranda picks up a 3-second penalty. The Rainmaster himself finding these conditions very difficult to negotiate at the moment.
Self-proclaimed. Just put that in.
Mikau's dropped back off again. He was as close as about 4/10 last lap, now down to 8/10. Just finding it very difficult to follow closely in the slower corners. Seb runs very wide at the exit of turn 3. Luckily had a bit of a gap behind to Big Out. Well, that's closed now. Saved him there because that mistake would have cost him a position if the Red Bull's a little bit closer. So you see there's definitely a big train forming behind Wahid as well, a bit further back there now. Contains an Alfa Romeo, 2 Renaults and a Ferrari. Big Out now. Right on the back of the racing point. Close as he's been for a little while. Still not quite able to do it. There really is only one decent overtaking position here at Spain. It's just down there into turn 1. The rest of the straight's just a little bit too short, even with DRS, to be able to get a move done. So yeah, the train behind T-Mac now. It's really condensed. Battle for 18th place is still raging between Smitty and Matzoid. He's not quite close enough this time around, but just a couple of tenths separating them at the moment. See how bad the visibility is from the onboard of Peter's car as he follows the McLaren. And the wheel speed, you hear the rev limiter just getting hit. Just gonna jump on board with Bieber for a lap here in the wet. So Mikau sets the fastest lap of the race at the 1:30.1. He's tiptoeing around. It looks like Smitty and Matzoid have come together. The Ferrari having a little bit of a spin there. I don't see any wing damage. No, not on either car, but yeah, it's definitely come together. They were side by side a bit earlier in the race, but not quite able to negotiate the corners together. The Ferrari losing out there. Battle pack. Oh, it's the McLaren. This big moment in the middle of turn 4. It's just promising that it's going to be a little bit to happen in not too long. It's going to be a matter of time before someone takes a bit of a risk to get the move done. Definitely looks like Seb's holding up most of these guys behind.
Oh, Sid is very close to the back of Peter at the moment.
He has a look at the inside and he's gone for it. Oh, no, not quite. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. Looks like he did run at the back of him a little bit. Oh, and a big fishtail on the exit as well for good measure. And they've dropped off a little bit from the rest of the train. So definitely Peter having to defend quite a bit from the Red Bull driver as Fever does set the fastest lap of the race so far with 1:30.032.
So we shouldn't be too far away from seeing the first pit stops.
I'm just wondering as well if they're going to chuck on the intermediate tyres. It looks like the rain has eased up a little bit and there's not as much standing water as there was at the start. So I just wonder if anyone's going to be brave enough to just mix it up a little bit, see if they can make something happen by choosing a faster tyre. I think as well, given we've seen a couple of fast laps in the last few laps in a row, whether it's just a sign that the track conditions are becoming just a little bit better. And Sid looks like he's got a decent run now on the Alfa Romeo. Decides to take it to the inside. Peter tries to cover it off, but he's a bit too late reacting. And they're side by side going into turn 1. And banging tyres as they go into turn 2. Peter up onto the curb to give him space. They go through turn 3 as well, still side by side. And just looks like there's a bit more grip on the racing line there for the Alfa Romeo, but Sid does a little bit of a switch back to the outside. Peter now covering the inside. And still side by side through turn 4 on the run into turn 5, so the Red Bull's got the inside line covered off now. So Peter tries to switch back. The Red Bull runs a little bit deep, and they're still side by side. So we go to a really nice off-board shot now. On the run down into turn 6, Red Bull's in front, but he's got the outside line there. Comes across onto the racing line and does stay in front, but he does go off track in order to do it. That's going to compromise his run up to the next corner as well, but he's not quite got enough pace as Peter.
While that was happening, I believe Red Panda picked up a penalty, and Fever out front has also picked up a penalty.
And just some contact then as well between Peter and Sid. Don't think there was any wing damage to the Alfa Romeo, but definitely upset at the Red Bull there. Now Artanis is back in the fight, just a couple of tenths behind the back of the Alfa Romeo. And we knew that it had been brewing for a few laps. It was only a matter of time before they had a go, and yeah, Sid's been able to get the move done, so great work from him. Started from the back of the grid, now up into 9th. Picking up a couple of points on his way.
And when it's raining like this, it's a lot easier to manage the ERS system and your battery. So you've really just got to save enough to defend down the main straight, and you should be pretty safe.
Absolutely. Jacob Meister and the Renault having a look at the Alfa Romeo flyboy into turn 1. He's not quite far up enough. Flyboy comes across to cover him. He's going to get much of a run out of turn 2 and 3. See so much wheel spin. Tries to get on the throttle. And no, he doesn't quite have enough power there to make another move on the Alfa Romeo. Meanwhile, Mikau's caught right up into the back of Geordie again. We're going to see him try and have a go into turn 1. Slightly better exit than Geordie has, but the gap's not really coming down. I wonder if Geordie's running a little bit less wing than Mikau is, because it seems that Mikau's able to close up the gap a bit in the corners, but on the straights, Geordie just pulls away.
That's very much possible.
Mikau getting on the throttle there, had to get out of it. He started to lose the rear through turn 2.
PTR in the pits.
What's he going on to here? Have a look. He's
I think
got a bit of wing damage.
He's
going into, but he's got a little bit of wing damage. He definitely had both of the wing elements, but I wonder if it was just one of those lime green damage parts where one of the little fins or something might have gotten damaged. But he's the first one to blink, pulled the trigger, intermediate tyres. So let's watch his times with great interest to see if he's going to get much performance gain out of that. So gap to Smith is currently about 8 seconds. So let's see over the next couple of laps if that comes down at all. And we'll find out pretty quickly whether or not it's the right tyre choice for Alfa Romeo. Ponton as well, just had it pointed out, is way down in P20, 15 seconds off Peter. He did have wing damage, I think, early on in the race, so he's pit already.
Yeah, he pit early.
So there's a bit of jostling for position happenings. Williams of Wahid going down the inside of Jacob Meister at the end of the back DRS straight. Can't quite get it done, and he's left himself vulnerable to combined as well. He has a look on the outside, but Williams covers off any possible move there. And now just behind him, looks like Matsoy's having a look down the inside of the Renault, and combined late on the brakes, just trying to shut out that move, and yeah, squeezes him right out onto the curb. Says no thank you very much. This is my position. As we see, who's that? That's Flyboy and Wahid, both coming to the pits as well, reacting to Peter's decision to come into the intermediate. He's only been able to take a couple of tenths out.
He's actually...
It's hard to tell because there's a few people who've blinked. We'll have to see once he gets past the guys in the pits whether he's... There's a gap between Smitty and Peter. 7.5 seconds. He's taken half a second out of Smitty that lap, so maybe it is time for intermediates.
Smitty also caught up to the back of this train, so... I don't know. I think they're about on par.
It's basically it's a crossover point. So yeah, I don't reckon unless you've got damage, it's not time to switch until we start seeing those times improve. But it's definitely close. Also, I'm not sure. Can Inters go to the end from here?
I
don't think so. I'm pretty sure the Inters can only do about half the race distance. The wets, I think, can almost go the full distance without being swapped, but the Inters just burn up too much, become slicks like we saw in Turkey in real life.
Yeah, so you might want to try and eke out these wet tyres another couple of laps just to try and get to that halfway mark at least.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the way to go, unless you start seeing dramatically better times. As we've gone a bit further back, it looks like a collision between Matsoid and Smitty. Oh, as Matsoid just reversed back onto the track and nearly comes together with Peter. It doesn't look like he's got any wing damage, this Matsoid, but yeah, I'm not sure if there was a collision there between him and Smitty, but they've had some trouble staying apart. Oh, his rears are overheated as well. He's just had a little spin turning into the final section of the lap. Oh, he's parked it on the racing line as well. Luckily he ghosted there. That would have been a pretty horrible crash if they didn't. He's going to jump up to Geordie and Mikau. Mikau having a bit of a look now on the inside of the Williams and is making a move. He's finally gotten close enough to get a move attempted at least. I'm not sure he's got it done just yet. And he has. He's got the inside line and he's been able to close it off. Mikau finally back up to P2, but he's 4.5 seconds behind Fever now. Fever absolutely blitzing the field. Bit of a battle between Panda and Pacey brewing as well. As we get close to the halfway mark of the race, Matsoy's in the pits, has gone on to the intermediate tyre. Sid now all over the back of Apollo.
Panda pitting.
Marine Master coming in, opting for the intermediate tyres, so the first one of the lead cars to do so. We are just about at that halfway point as well, so this is the point where you can probably get those inters to the end.
He's going to come out just ahead of his teammate, I would think.
Yeah, it's just... yeah, pretty comfortably. Just about at the halfway point now. Keep an eye on that gap between Fever and Mikau. Mikau might, now that he's in clean air, be able to push a little bit, close that gap down. Maybe even try to undercut Fever as well with the intermediates. It's like, keep an eye on whether or not Fever pulls the trigger first. It's a bit of a hard decision there though for Mikau. He's got the clean air now, so he can really show his pace and see if he's got it, but that undercut might just do it, and he has come into the pits. Mikau's gone the undercut, so have a look at that gap. It's about 5 seconds, 5.2 seconds when he pit. Let's see if Fever reacts at the end of this lap, and if he does, how much time does he lose? Mikau will come out behind Trin, I think. And it should be as a nice clean air just in front of Panda. As we see Seb, Apollo and Sid all coming to the pits as well. So
wonder if Jeff has made the call.
Quite possibly. And yep, see. Oh, is he going to come out in front of Trin? Oh, yeah, he's in traffic. So That's going to hurt the undercut for Mikau. He came out a little bit too close behind that train. He would have preferred to have been in front of it. Oh, we've got a bit of drama going on into turn 1, as we've got a mix of wet and intermediate tyre runners. Apollo Pepsi just in front of Jacobmeister, who's having Seb on the inside. Come at him, he's on the intermediate tyre as well, so he's going to have a little bit less grip, but a little bit more pace through that wet section. So you see Phoebe's coming through the last couple of corners now. Comes into the pits, so Jacobmeister's still holding that inside, and now the Red Bull of Sid as well, trying to get in on the action, and he's been able to get past Seb. Eddie's been able to get past Jacobmeister as well, so great run there from Sid. And just notice as well, Sid came out on the full wet tyre again, so he doesn't think it's worth intermediate conditions, or has he made the wrong decision, like made a mistake selecting the tyre, but he's pulling away from the rest of the grid just there. Seb able to hold off Jacob and Combines on those intermediate tyres. And yes, we do see Fever and Geordie coming to the pits. So whereabouts is Mikau? Mikau's coming through the final corner now as Trent peels off into the pits, and Fever, I think, has got him covered. As Luke in the chat has pointed out, but as he got out in front of Geordie, yes, he's just cleared him as well. That gap, that's 6 seconds, so he lost any advantage through the traffic that he came out of the pits in. So it's unfortunate for him. Just going to jump a little bit further back. We've got Sid right on the back of Apollo Pepsi now. Bit of a run down into turn 1. Goes to the outside lines. McLaren's covered off the inside. Runs very deep under braking. And he swoops around the outside. So those wet tyres, maybe they are quicker at the moment. Sid's really got a lot of pace on them at the moment.
Well, if you think about it, the Inters were only on par with worn wets. So maybe Sid's on the ball here.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's pulling away from both Apollo Pepsi and Seb, and he was at the back of that train as well. So, yeah, maybe it was a masterstroke for him.
It does look as though as if the rain has eased. So I don't know how long this advantage will last, but
maybe it's going to be dry towards the end. Maybe he's just going to chuck on the wets. He knows they're going to be quicker for now, and then. Yeah, maybe he'll have to defend a little bit towards the end, but if he goes straight onto slicks after that, maybe it was just the right decision so he could get track position. He's already caught up to his teammate, who's on the intermediate tyre as well, so yeah, he's got so much pace compared to everyone else around him.
Yeah, you'd think Christian Horner, the number 2 Red Bull driver, making a move on the number 1. What? This hasn't happened since 2018.
Absolutely, and where have we seen 2 Red Bulls with different tyre strategies battling for track position? I think to remember, was it Malaysia? Was that right? Back in multi-21, was that right?
Yeah, well, when you get told to turn down the engine power, yeah.
As I see, Apollo Pepsi making a move on Seb into turn 1. Side by side, both running the intermediate tyre now. Oh, Seb nearly loses the rear there going through turn 3.
Sid went around the outside of his teammate in turn 3.
Yeah, he's got
in these conditions.
So much grip there.
It won't be long until he's up near this front pack.
Absolutely. The gap has come down a bit between Fever and Mikau. Mikau's got the gap to under 5 seconds. So he seems to be a bit quicker on the intermediate tyres than Fever does. And don't forget as well, Fever's got that 3-second penalty, so doesn't have to pass him on track, just has to stay just close enough.
Another driver to go onto the wets is Jacob Meister, and he too is catching T-Mac.
Yeah, and pulling away from his teammate who's on the fresh inters, so weird conditions at the moment. So while the rain is easing off, the track is just so wet that it seems like the full extreme tyres are quicker than the intermediates.
And Sid said the new fastest lap, yeah.
1:29.1, so it's a full second quicker than the last best lap time. So he is absolutely flying. He's already pulled out 2.5 seconds on his teammate, and the gap's just 6 seconds to Pacey in front of him.
And he was overtaking people that lap.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see how we go.
I don't think Big Al would have made it difficult for him. I think he kind of acknowledged the
Oh no!
situation.
Well, he didn't just say after you, sir. Oh, he made him go. He went around the outside, turn 3. I was watching.
Got Peter as well, closing in on the back of Trin for P11. Peter, of course, does have a 3-second penalty, though, from earlier in the race.
Jakermeister already within 1 second of T-Mac.
Oh, that was quick. That was very quick. Got a yellow flag, got a Ferrari round, or slowed. I think it's Smitty, yeah, he's off the track. Just pulled a fast right-hander, and he's right on the racing line as well as the, whoa, Alfa Romeo of Flyboy had to go off track to avoid a collision there. Like, bad timing there. Smitty recovering from these little off. Hadn't quite got up to racing speed, and Flyboy nearly running on the back of him did well to avoid a collision there. We'll jump a little bit further up as Pacey's having a good look at Panda. No, I'm looking at the wrong Mercedes. Jakermeister on those wet tyres, yeah, about to make a move on T-Mac.
And Sid, 4.5 seconds now, the gap to Pacey.
Mikau as well has got the gap under 4 seconds to Fever, so a couple of battles building at the moment. We've got the AlphaTauri of, I think that's Matsoid. Yeah, same place actually. He had a little spin last season in the wet.
Jakermeister gets the move done on T-Mac.
Yeah, nice and tidy there from the Renault driver. Now 17 seconds to Peter in front. Bit of a tall ask to get that done, but
T-Mac picking up a 3-second penalty there. Lap 22 of 33. So Jakermeister got a nice gap now to try and push, make the most of these wet tyres and their current advantage. And Sid 3 seconds behind Pacey. Pacey is also caught onto the back of Red Panda.
Thank you very much for the follow, Nielsen. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
So as the penalty stand, FIBA on 3, Panda on 6, PTR, Jacob and T-Mac and Smitty all on 3 seconds.
We'll just have a look at the winners and losers at the moment as well. So Geordie up 4 positions in P3, Panda up 2, Pacey down 1, Sid up 14 positions now in P6, Big Al's down 4, Artanis up 1. Remember, he did have that 5-place grid penalty at the start of the race. Poly Pepsi up 2, Seb down 5, he's down in 10th position, Trent down 1, Peter down 4, Jacobs up 2, T-Mac is exactly where he qualified. Combines up 4 positions, Pondit and Smitty both up 1, but Flyboy down 2, Wahid down 6, and Matsoid down 8.
Combined has also caught T-Mac now as well, so
Yeah,
T-Mac struggling. Yeah, T-Mac struggling in these conditions, potentially.
Sid just 2 seconds behind Pacey now. It's going to be a 3-way battle for 4th place in just a few laps. The rain is getting very light though, so will we start to see the race come a bit towards the intermediate runners? As Combined has got past T-Mac through the last couple of corners.
Sid, 1.8 seconds now behind Pacey. Macau, the gap to the FIBA out front, 3.1 seconds. Sorry, 2.9.
Sid has just picked up a 3-second penalty though.
Oh dear.
It's going to make it a bit harder for him now. Not only does he have to get past these guys in front of him, but he's got to pull a 3-second gap now.
Well, he doesn't have to on Panda yet, because Panda's got 6 seconds. But yes, definitely not what you want. I'm thinking the advantage that these wet tyre guys had is starting to disappear. As Sid now is starting to drop kind of away from Pacey.
No, he's still dropping the gap, but it's just not improving as quickly as before. Jacob's still catching the back of Peter as well, but he is in a bit of a train, 5-car train behind Tannis there in P8. So, yeah, Pondon as well, opting to choose another set of wet tyres down in P19, so let's keep an eye on his gap to Wahid, see if conditions are any better. Yeah, Sid, there we go, 8 tenths, so he's caught up to the back of that little battle pack.
Panda again, 9 seconds, that takes it to. So that puts him almost in reaching distance of Big Al.
Yeah, I think Big Al's about 10 seconds behind Panda, but if he can get that gap to under 9. So we've got a yellow flag. Also, we had a little excursion there for the Williams. Back of the field, that's Wahid. See, a little bit too far off the back to get anything done now. T-Mac, I think, has had a bit of a connection problem. Won't be able to complete the race. Yeah, it looks like Sid's struggling a little bit now in these conditions. He's turning left in a right-hand corner, so that says it all. We've got about 8 laps to go now, and Mikau's got that gap down to just 2.5 seconds at the front. He's on slightly older intermediates though, so it could just be Fever conserving, but he has to be careful as a 3-second penalty is... Oh, Sid nearly loses the rear there. Yeah, Fever's got a 3-second penalty, so currently Mikau is effectively our race leader, but he'll want to get that win on track, I'm sure.
Yeah, yes, all drivers want to win on track. But then again, a win is a win.
A little bit closer this time to the back of Pacey, but not quite close enough. Just see the Williams and Wahid just coming out of the pits there. Again, going for the full wet tyre. So I wonder if Jeff does still think that it's the best conditions.
Quite possible. But also, I think what's making Sid's job a little bit harder now as well is not only the conditions, but the fact that Pacey has the toe on Red Panda. Jacob Meister not really taking too much time out of PTR as he's gone very deep into turn 1.
Sid nearly lost the rear there, so he's dropped back to over a second behind Pacey. Tannis has got a little bit of a train forming behind him there in P8. He's got Polo Pepsi, Seb, Trin and Peter behind him as Fever. There we go. Set the fastest lap of the race along 28.9, so the intermediates are now seeming to be the quickest tyre on the track at the moment. And Fever's got 6 laps to pull a gap of 3 seconds on Mikau in order to take the win. So
You'd be kicking
went pretty
yourself
hard.
if you're Wahid just pitting now for wets. And the Inter's become the quicker tyre.
Absolutely. Peter closing in on the back of Trin. He's got really old intermediate tyres on that Alpha Romeo. It's only a matter of time before I got those mixed up.
The wrong Alpha. Oh.
Oh, he's big, wobble, sliding everywhere. Yeah, those instances are done, I think. Oh, he's gone round, he's in the wall, and I've bloody pressed the wrong button, and there he goes.
How did he not retire?
There's front wing all over the track between turns 3 and 4. We've got sector 1 and 2 yellow flags. Is that going to see a safety car come out?
Nothing. Yellow flag, that's it. Carry on, gentlemen. Nothing to see here.
And we were just saying this in qualifying, and Peter gets himself into such a good position, and just makes little mistakes like that. As Mikau sets the fastest lap of the race with line 28.928, so 2.3 seconds that gap is down to now. So Tanis now doing a pretty solid job defending this little train. Goes from P8 to P11. Jacob Meister just about to get past Peter. There he goes. Yeah, absolutely, Paige. It's really tricky conditions out there. Everyone's done really well to make it to as we say that. And
he's crashed in the pit lane, pit entry.
Jinx it, Paige.
Oh dear.
Couldn't see him from Smitty's view.
No, he was in the lane. Like, yeah. Just carrying too much speed, not enough downforce. Took too much wall.
A lot of classic band isms.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
No safety car for that one. Obviously off the track enough that Codemasters deems it not a problem. Just gaps out 2.3 seconds between Mick and Fever. Geordie's dropped off a little bit now, about 9.5 seconds behind Mick out.
So I just checked the race director. Mikau currently only has
safety
one
car,
warning.
Full safety car. Smitty has crashed. He's crashed. We saw him go off there earlier in the race.
Oh dear.
And it's full safety car. So he's lost it on the exit of the chicane, and you can see the car there on the left-hand side of the road there in the wall. Yep, he has lost that Ferrari. It has spin-alled off, and it's into the barrier, and there's a full safety car. We see the Renaults both coming into the pits to double stack there. They're the first ones in the pits. What are we going to see happen at the front of the grid? We've got the Mercedes of T-Mac is just about to come through. Now they're going to have to jump on, fresh intermediates for Jacob. So of course he was a wet runner. He's up at P12 now with fresh inters, so he's in a very, very good position. T-Mac is staying out though. Of course it's his AI, but his AI is going to be in a pretty good position though on those inters. Flyboy does pit as well. Now let's see what these race leaders do. Is Fever going to come into the pits? He does. Oh no, he's changed his mind. He's dummied, and Mikau has gone into the pits. Is Geordie going to follow him? So that was interesting. I wonder if he... Oh, Mikau sped into the pits. Mikau's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh no, oh no.
Geordie has stayed out, and that is going to kill Mikau's race now. That's a 5-second penalty with a bunched up field behind the safety car. That is going to cost him a lot. I think it was the right call to come into the pits for the fresh inters, but not... Oh, getting that 5-second penalty. Oh, that's such a shame. Such a shame. We see Panda and Sid both coming into the pits to get instas.
Instagrams.
I mean, they
or-
might. I mean, there's a bit of downtime behind the safety car. I might get a few selfies. That's fine. So yeah, Paige Baguette has just jinxed the whole field. She said compliments to everyone for not retiring during the race, and we see 2 retirements within 30 seconds after saying that. So thanks for that. And we're seeing a bit of jostling around to the exit of the pit lane. It looks like yeah, looks like they all came out of the pits around the same time. And guess who's in the best position at the moment? Geordie is P2, no penalties.
Yeah.
He is in a great position. He does have a couple of lapped cars in between him and Fever. Yeah, it just depends on how quick Mikau's going to be on those fresh inters. We're going to see another lap of the safety car after this. We will only have 2 laps of running. Is Mikau going to be able to get past them and pull a 5-second gap in just 2 laps? This is setting up to be a great finish to the Tier 1 race. Stay with us as well. We're going to have Tier 2 straight after this at 8:30 Melbourne time. We're seeing a couple of lapped cars trying to unlap themselves behind the safety car. We've seen the game not really allow this to happen before, as Flyboy get a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. But he did get let through. He only got a 5-second penalty for overtaking. So he's not been disqualified, which is always a good sign. Oh, we're going to see Pondon trying to nut himself as well. I think Fever's trying to get out of the way so he can get the move done. I don't think he wants to risk it. Okay. So let's have a look at the drivers who did pit. So we've got Mikau is in P3, but obviously has a 5-second penalty over his head. Sid is down in P8 with the fresh inters. Panda P9 with fresh wets. We have Trim P11 on fresh inters. And yeah, we've got the Renaults as well a little bit further down the field. So there's a lot of drivers in the top 10 who did not stop to get new tyres. And oh, Fever's got a 5-second penalty, a collision with Pondon. Pondon is a lapped car, and he has collided with the race leader. And the safety car is in this lap, so both Fever and Mikau have 5-second penalties. I'd imagine that collision penalty will probably be overturned as long as it was Pondon's fault. But, oh boy. This is going to be, whatever the final results are going to be, it'll probably get reviewed by the stewards after the race. As the safety car is in this lap, so we will get 2 final laps. Support with Fever now as he warms up those front inter tyres. Oh, he's lost it! He's lost it! He's done a Max Verstappen! He's gone off onto the grass on the safety car restart. And he's kept the lead as Pondon peels off into the pits just to get out of the way of everyone. So thank you for that. And he's still kept a 1-second gap. Let's have a look at Mikau now. He's got a run on Geordie going into turn 1. Is he going to make a move? He's about 100 metres back. He thinks about it, but decides better of it. The Williams runs a little bit deep. Of course, Mikau does have fresh intermediate tyres, so this shouldn't be a too difficult pass on the Williams. A little bit further back, we've got Big Al and Pacey pulling at it. I can't quite see from that angle. Yeah, we've got the Panda and Apollo Pepsi going at it. We see some of the lapped cars just getting right out of the way. I don't want to get caught up in this. Jostling for position happening further back in the field. Mikau's just 2 tenths behind Geordie. Oh, he's just got a lap and a half to get it done, Mikau. He's got to get close to Fever. Remember, Fever has a 3-second penalty. Mikau has a 5-second penalty. Further back, and Sid gets a move done on Artanis. He's up to P6 now, so the Red Bulls now 5th and 6th.
Fever coming around the final corner now to start the final lap.
Mikau
And the
basically
gap is 2.9.
He's just set the fastest lap of the race as well. Mikau now has a great run on the Williams. And look at that gap. He's definitely given it everything he's got, Fever, in the McLaren. Jump a little bit further back because we've got a little bit of a battle happening for the midfield positions. Panda doing pretty well on those fresh wet tyres. Oh, he's got a big drift. Oh, he's caught it. He nearly lost it coming through turn 3. As he hunts down Artanis, he does have a lot of penalties, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Panda out of the points at the end of the race. Mikau now just over 3 seconds behind Fever. A lot of work to do. As we see, Sid and Big Al swapping positions. I think that was a bit of a tactical play there. Sid does have a penalty, and Big Al just letting him try and get as much ground as possible on those intermediate tyres to try and take a bit of advantage out of Fever and Mikau, who have time penalties as well. So Geordie dropping off a little bit at the back of Mikau, but he does have that 5-second penalty, so we may see Mikau dropping to P5 as Fever is about to come through the last couple of corners. Gap's down to 2.5 seconds. Oh, yep. I don't think he's going to get it done. So Fever does take the checkered flag first. And it should be a win. He does have a 5-second penalty that'll probably be reviewed. Mikau comes across the line in second, but will get promoted to first for the moment. Geordie then comes across the line and takes the win on the checkered flag. I don't think that will stand. I think he... Oh, actually, how far behind Feeble was he? If he was within 3 seconds...
It was... No, I don't think so.
Oh, that'll be looked at, I'm sure.
No, it was more than 3 seconds. Because it's the 3 plus the 5 seconds for the collision with Pondon.
Wow. T-Mac coming across the line. His AR gets promoted to 13th ahead of Trin. And Flyboy, one of the last ones to come across the line there in P15. And there we go. Wow, that race came alive in the second half. A bit worried that we wouldn't see much action with Spain being particularly difficult to overtake and then mix in the rain. It's Sid, driver of the day. I think that's quite well deserved as well. Starting third last, getting solidly into the top 5. Absolutely an amazing result for him. So congratulations to Geordie for getting the win on the checkered flag, but I think on penalties, I'm pretty sure that 5-second penalty will be overturned for Pond and the lapped car colliding with the race leader. And I think who's the AlphaTauri? That'll be Pacey getting onto the podium there. And the racing point of Mikau as well, coming in P3. So I think, that's going to be a bit of a mess to sort out. So I think the correct results will be Fever P1, Fever P1, Geordie P2, Pacey P3. I think Mikau's just missed out on the podium because of that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He does pick up the bonus point for fastest lap of the race. We then have Big Al P5, so great result from him. Artanis P6 and P7 for Sid as well. So he did have that 3-second penalty, and I think it just hurt him at the end of the race. He would have finished, in the top 4, definitely, if he didn't have that penalty. Apollo Pepsi, another solid points result from him in P8. Seb P9, great work for a reserve filling in at short notice. Jacob Meister gets the final point for Renault. Then at P11, Panda, unfortunately, those penalties came back to bite him. Dropped out of the points with that one after a pretty solid result. I think he was in about P8, so that's disappointing, missing out on a few points. We then had combined P12, T-Mac 13th, Trin 14th, Flyboy 15th, Wahid 16th, Pondon 17th, Matsoid 18th, and then our 2 retirees, Smitty for Ferrari and Peter for Alfa Romeo. Alright, thank you so much everyone for joining us for Tier 1. We'll be back in a couple of minutes for our Tier 2 race. Thank you so much Bandcamp for joining me in the commentary box. Good luck with your race in a couple of minutes, and we'll see you shortly.
No worries, thank you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Aussie Formula Racing Season 6, Round 10 from Circuit Barcelona-Catalunya here in Spain. We have a Tier 2's race this evening, just about to get underway. We're just loading into the qualifying session. Looks like it's clear quali, no news yet on the race update. Oh, here we go, Bandcamp saying it's a dry race, so yeah, should be a bit of a mix-up from last one. So 4.6 kilometre circuit, 16 turns here last season in Tier 2. Bit of an interesting race. We had quite a few passing attempts into turn 1. First of all, we had the bit of a collision between Bully, Zudix and Ivers, just the back there at the top of the screen. You can see just at the very top. And Zudix DNFing before he even got to turn 1, so very unfortunate for him there. We had as well turn 1, Smitty and Jacob battling, and Ponder coming out of the pits just at the wrong time. And Smitty managing to get past them both into turn 1. We also had turn 1, Artanis and Simdogger. Artanis having a mega run. DRS all the way into the corner. I'm not sure if there was a bit of desync or something. Simdogger just pushed him right up onto the grass and gave him a good hip and shoulder out into the gravel. And Artanis ended up losing quite a few positions there. We see Haas and I believe, yeah, we've got the Williams as well going through there as well. So that is basically the main overtaking position on this circuit here at turn 1. It is an important one to get right. And turn 2, Bully finding out the hard way. So what happens if you take a bit too much curb when you've got the throttle flat, just lighting up the rears and spinning off and damaging his front wing into that wall on the inside. Alright, we're ready for the start of the session. Looks like we've got a McLaren of Quantum Effects about to start. Actually, I think the AlphaTauri is our lead qualifying one at the moment. Lights, jumping forward with him. We've got him on our lead qualifying lap for now. So, 15 minutes left in the session. Drivers coming out of the pits, only a couple remaining in the garage, as I'm joined in commentary by Apollo Peps this evening as Lights nearly loses 3 there through the chicane. How are you this evening?
I am doing good. Did I get a car because I didn't press spectate?
No, you didn't, because we already had 20 drivers, so...
Thank God.
Yeah, lucky, but yeah, all good. Yeah, we've got a couple of new reservists tonight. So we've got Bluey in the Alfa Romeo, and we've also got Nemo in the Racing Point. So good luck to them. So Light's about to come across the line and finish his anchor lap. There's a big moment there in sector 2, so this is going to be a fantastic time. And yeah, set to 1:16.2. Further back, we've got Mr. Spicer is wearing the last couple of corners. His teammate, Batemate, just comes from 1:16.9, so obviously he's made a mistake as well at some point. Psycho setting 1:17.6 now. Quantum set of 15.9. Given they're expecting a dry race, I expect most drivers to try and qualify in the medium tyre. Medium hard is the optimal strategy here, so a lot of these soft runs, I wonder if they're just going to turn the engine down a little bit, back off just a little bit, so that they can set a bit of a bank lap set and then qualify and set their fastest time on the mediums a bit later on in the session. Let's have to wait and see what happens there. Accelerate coming around the final corner for AlphaTauri. Here's P5 with 16.7, just half a second behind his teammate. We got flags like we've got Alfa Romeo. Kingvay. Yes, Kingvay had a bit of a moment out there. Mercedes, not about to start a lap, just jump aboard with him. In the meantime, thank you, Mikau, for rating the channel after Tier 1. Good result for you. Thanks to the follows to Sergeant Cones and Harry SO5B2. So definitely think there's a bit of sandbagging happening at the moment. We saw in Tier 1 that most of our top 10 setting times in the 1:13s and a few in the 1:14s. The fact that everyone's kind of around that 15 mark, I'd expect might just be a little bit of sandbagging happening at the moment.
Yeah, I got the engine glitch on some drivers.
Coming up for Mercedes, coming around the final corner now. Opens up DRS. And cross line P7, 116.5. Pretty decent banker for him. Don't have a lot of other cars on the track at the moment. Just going to jump up to Saxa, who's shifting pretty quickly through the gears. I think he's on an in-lap. I've got Renault Bandcamp on an out-lap on the medium tyre, so we'll see what he can do with that. Best medium at the moment. In fact, I think Wingman.
Nope.
Oh no, he's on the softs. He has selected the medium though in the garage at the moment, so got quite a few drivers actually getting ready to go out on the medium, so my hunch is right. I think a few of them either lifted or had the engine turned down or no ERS deployment.
I would say the medium tyre in terms of delta is only 0.6 slower than the softs. But they might go even with their soft time if they're not careful in their laps.
Bandcamp having a bit of a snap there through turn 3. Is Purple in Q1? Split 1 apparently, but yeah.
Yep, it's Q1.
Oh, he nearly loses it on the exit. The fast right-hander there. Keeps it together. Apparently Purple in sector 2 as well.
That fast right-hander is quite a tricky corner to get right.
Yeah, it's not quite flat in the game, I don't think, but it is in real life.
It really depends on your setup if you are able to take that flat. No,
Across the line. 116.7 on the medium tyre, so just good enough to get into the top 10, but see how he goes.
they may also in the medium still in his lap. He's actually 0.5 up on his time. Yeah, I think Mrs. Spice is actually on softs again.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
We've got both McLaren splitting strategy, one soft, one medium.
Oh, this is Racing Point blocking the track in front of Baitmate there. I don't think it affected his time too much. He kept it flat through the ghosted car. Comes across the line, and 1 second improvement, 115.864. Wingman has lost it as well, just on the exit of turn 4.
And he was equal with his delta in the softs.
Hasn't got any wing damage, but those tyres might be flat spotted. He'll have to come back to the pits. I think he might not have enough fuel to go again. Let's have a look. See about quantum effects. As I said, split strategy for McLaren. Final corner. All of his ERS deployment goes P2 with 115.322, so he can't beat his teammate who's on the harder compound.
Wingman did that on the softs.
Have I done the same thing again? Yeah, I've done the same thing again. Alright.
You have fitted and not best.
We'll switch it to best, so I don't make the mistake a third time. We're just on board with skins on the soft tyre.
You won't make the same mistake, but you'll say the wrong tyre one day on.
Skins across the line, goes P4, improving by nearly 4/10. A couple hundredths behind Baitmate there, who did set his tyre on the medium.
He was 0.5 up from sector 2, so he probably lost a bit in the chicane. Probably could have lost some on the uphill left, or the tiny uphill left-hander. Because I think Nemo's just crashed in the pit lane.
Oh, that's unfortunate, as Keeper runs very wide at that fast right-hander.
We also saw Feber hit the pit wall entry. Oh, he's not even on the entry, he's out on the racing line.
Drivers seemingly struggling to set a time.
The two drivers still yet to come out. Got Ali and Bluey still yet to come on track. As I say, Bluey's on track now.
Yep, got the soft tyres fitted. And away he goes.
Does he?
I'm on board right now, and I can tell you it's red.
It says soft for me. Oh, mediums. Are you sure he's on softs?
He's definitely on softs.
We're talking about Bluey here, what?
No, Bully,
What?
Bully, not Bluey. Bully,
Ah,
Bully, Bully.
I've got to get mixed up. I'm trying to race, I can tell you that.
Keeping it almost flat. Oh, he thinks back up for the toe from the Mercedes, but he would have caused a collision if he did so.
Would have been an instant 5 place.
A bit deep into the hairpin. Looks like a pretty solid lap. Across the line, P9, 116.4.
Oh, Bluey's just lost it on his first lap.
Oh, yeah,
Turn
there he is.
2 on the exit. Lucky not to hit that wall.
Yeah, it keeps it out of the barrier. Front wing's intact, but yeah, those tyres are going to be pretty cactus.
It's very interesting what I'm seeing at the moment.
So Light's got the medium tyre on, going for his quali run now. Turns 1 and 2.
Batemate, who did his medium run, I think he's thinking about doing a soft tyre to try snatch pole from Wingman. As I think Nut has had a spin.
Yeah, same place that Smitty DNF'd in a Tier 1 race. Oh, as Lights nearly loses the rear through the fast chicane.
He's equal with his soft time, apparently, to my thing.
Ooh, Psycho has DNF'd out of the exit of turn 2, just before the turn for turn 3.
Bully's hit the pit entry
He's done that
wall
before as well. Mr. Splicer has lost it as well on the right hander. Oh, they're all dropping like flies. They're obviously pushing so hard. And yeah, oh, look at the Ferrari. He's completely blocked the pit entrance. Let's have a look at that again. The Ferrari was completely blocked the pit entry.
I think Nut's stuck.
Lights had to think about pulling into the pits, but he couldn't because the Ferrari completely is sideways in the pit entrance.
Nut was going into pit lane. He somehow managed to get around Bully's car. How about that? 3 DNS in under 10 seconds, though.
Absolutely.
So, Hero out on those medium tyres. Same with Mika. So, both cars are doing the medium tyre strategy. Bluey, who went out on the mediums and spun his up, came back in.
King J's just lost it at the pit entrance as well. Not quite as dramatically as Bully. He's just got to wait for Mercedes.
keeps it out of the barrier. Oh, not.
I think that was in the pit lane, that one, so not too bad.
He could have gone again and improved that time. I'll say some people that can't do that times actually might just opt for the soft tires and bite the early pit stop. As we can see a lot of cars coming out pit lane. I think one of the Renaults has lost it, Skins has lost it in the turn 2, I think.
I think he's on an outlap, so I'm not sure if he is just staying out of people's way or if he's actually
I'm not sure, but he was pretty far into the gravel. So both McLarens actually going both on the soft tire now. I think Baymate's also doing the soft, so we got top 4 all doing the soft tire. Mr. Spice is actually in a pretty good position at the moment.
Oh, his keeper just invalidates in the final corner. And that's it. This is probably done.
Very interested to see where Hero ends up. It's actually 4/10 up on his time at the moment. So 16.3 puts it at 8th. Then his teammate, Mika, it's actually gone slower. He's starting now.
Alpha pointing the wrong way, just turning to turn 3.
I think
might be Decelerate, I think.
I think Bluey, who hasn't set a lap, is actually going to get impeded a tiny. Yep, cool. Go and hear that one. It's alright. I know I'm pushing torque on. Bluey might get impeded a little bit by Mika in front of him on that medium tire. Ali also doing his lap, actually gets 3rd fastest on that mediums.
Yeah, great times from Ali and Batemate. Totally in the top 5 on those medium tyres.
As Bluey sets a purple sector too, but because he doesn't have a delta, I can't tell if he's actually gone purple sector too.
Saxon
he's getting
line doesn't improve.
Bluey getting impeded quite a lot by Mika, who's on his lap as well.
Yeah, which is perfectly fine. It's up to the car behind to make a safe distance between other cars also on a lap.
Oh, it's Bluey.
P3, 115.5.
That would have been pole, but that few tenths behind Mika kind of cost him. Wingman. Wingman goes 2nd, or 1st with 14.8. Quantum stays 2nd.
Bandcamp just finishing up his lap on the soft tyre this time.
Don't think anyone's going to beat the two
P8.
McLarens.
115.965, so good result there for Renault. Shout out to Ali from Big Out. Now, can you confirm the rumour that you are in fact Ali's brother? We have Ali claiming this in chat every single stream we do, and we want to hear from the big man himself. He's Big Al, Ali's brother.
We need to know. Well, I know. You need to be in Discord with him, and then you and I.
As Ali himself retires, and that's the end of our qualifying session. I'm just going to wait for the results to pop up. Here we go. So, Wingman, and so it's basically front row lockout for McLaren. 114.889 for Wingman, 115.322 for Quantum Effects. Bluey, great debut here. The 115.5 on the soft tyre. Then we've got Ali on the mediums and P4, same as Batemate. Oh, Big Al confirms he is in fact Ali's brother. Well, there you go. Skins in 6th place on the softs. Same with Mr. Spicer, Bandcamp, Saxa, and Lights rounding out the top 10. We've then got Mika, Hero, Decelerate, Keeper, Bully, Nut, King J, Psycho, Conrod, and Nemo at the back.
I don't know, but I'll say best part about quality, that 3 DNFs in under 5 seconds. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Had to be talented. Had to be talented to coordinate that one. So McLaren are not doing their split, so this is going to be very interesting with the pit stops now.
Yeah, especially given that the softs aren't the greatest tyre to use here at Spain, so I'm interested to see how they do it, whether or not they go soft hard or if they split it to a two-stop strategy, possibly soft
I
medium medium.
believe it will need to be a soft hard, but the hard tire, I believe it goes almost puncture range even like even if you stretch your softs out, it still goes towards puncture. It will be very interesting. Of course, tier 1, we couldn't test this theory at all. We're getting done by the game.
Alright, as we start our formation lap now. Let's have a look and see what tyres has everyone decided to start on. So of course the top 10 are locked to whatever they set their qualifying time on. So outside the top 10 we've got Mika, Keeper, Bully, Nut, King J, Conrad and Nemo on the medium tyre. And then we've got Hero, Decelerate and Psycho on the hard. So we see both Haas and Racing Point splitting their strategy. Yeah, keep an eye on Ali and Batemate. So both qualifying on the medium tyre. So expect them to have the best strategy for the race out of the top 10. AWS Insights a bit earlier suggesting that two-stop strategy is the way to go for those starting on the soft tyre, but we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out.
That's quite interesting.
If there's an early safety car, it might be doable. Just chuck on the mediums. Yeah, let's see how it plays out.
Okay. Those hard runners, they had to be careful not to pick up damage. And I'm sorry to Hero, but Hero being Hero, he's gonna send it on someone.
We'll have to keep an eye on that one. So race prediction there from Pepsi. Hero will send it.
I've seen it and witnessed it, and I've been a victim to it as well.
Alright, just wait for the last couple of drivers to form up on the grid. It's 33 lap Grand Prix here at Circuit Barcelona-Catalunya. Oh, got it wrong. Circuit to Barcelona-Catalunya. There we go. Got it out at the end. Alright.
Second try.
All the drivers are ready. There we go. Lights come on. The engine's revving. And they're away. A bit of a long hold there from the lights. Bit of wheel spin from the back. Start to spread out. Two Renaults taking the inside the line. Pretty tidy so far.
Wide?
Yeah, we got nearly 4 wide in the middle of the field. The two Mercedes getting pushed out to the air. 3 wide into turn 1. Got the Red Bull getting squeezed. Got the Williams down. They go around. So we've got the Williams and the Red Bull have gone round. It's just all going completely off at turn 2.
What is happening?
Oh, Ali, I know.
I think Ali went on his roof, or someone's roof.
Well, let's
someone did.
Down a little bit now. Just clip that and we'll have a quick look at it in a little bit.
Quantum's in the wall!
Oh, we've got another 2 cars off here, just on the left-hand side.
Quantum and Bluey in the wall.
And we've got a virtual safety car.
Bluey has I think Quantum and Bluey have murdered each other.
Yeah, Bluey's missing his left wing
Racing
element.
Point's around.
Oh, what is going on this race? We've got a Racing Point in the wall. Oh, what is happening in this race? Oh, there's still a Red Bull limping it.
I didn't think dry would be this chaotic.
What was that start? Let's just have a look at that replay of the turn 1 incident. I don't think that, I can't quite see the leaderboards there. I don't think anyone was upside down, but yeah, definitely Ali struggling very, probably the most out of all those drivers. Going right to the back after being up the front. You can see a lot of cars coming to the pits with wing damage.
A car wasn't on his roof. It was another car on another car's roof.
Fair enough.
I believe one of the Alphas actually got lifted by about 4 cars.
So out of all that carnage, no retirements, but yeah, we've got 4 cars in the pits getting front wings fixed. I think Ali did manage to get through it without any wing damage, so that's
let me just have a look.
And all that.
Ali not carrying any damage, but he's at the back of the pack now after starting 4th.
Yeah, very disappointing for him, I'm sure. Pretty shattered. Just got to wait for the order to sort itself out. Mercedes and Red Bull battling there, Conrad and Keeper. Keeps shifting all the positions for me in the leaderboard. So Wingman is our current race leader. And am I reading this right? Skins and Bandcamp, 3 and 4?
Yes. No, that's second and third.
Second and third. It's a double Renault podium at the moment, so great work from them to profit out of that.
No, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
We got Mika up to P4. Let's have a look at some of these gains. Yeah, basically everyone who's currently in the top 11 has benefited from that carnage. Just going to jump a little bit further back. We've got King J and Batemate going side by side into turn 1.
I love the positions to actually stay where they are.
What was that meme about Tier 2 being just clean, pure racing?
Yeah, well, I've got to have to post that one after it. I've got to post that with the clip.
Let me see. Decelerate trying to defend from Bully, and that's Bully, not Bluey.
Bluey's into pit lane. I think Bluey forgot to fix his wing last time he came in.
Oh no, it's gone from bad to worse for him.
All the way down to P19. We got thrown around.
King J is off the track.
Oh, I'll watch a rejoin, just in case.
Jump a little further out. Decelerate getting pushed around the corner by Bully.
I would say this is actually a fantastic race for Mika at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Up to P4 and on the medium tyres as well, so he's well placed strategically.
And he's actually built. Oh, okay, there goes my builder.
Got DRS enabled as well, so Bully got a good run on the AlphaTauri into turn 1. Pulls alongside, and he's not quite got the move done yet. A bit of contact, and the AlphaTauri gets forced up onto the curb, and now the Haas is trying to sneak through on the inside as well. And the Decelerate has lost 2 positions in the space of 2 corners. Just have a look further up as Hero making a move on the Ferrari as well. Ferrari gets pushed out very wide. The Haas trying to keep it in front. He's on the hard tyres. He's not quite got the grip of the Ferrari, who's now on the inside again, but the Haas maintains position. So
I'm just gonna say I can't. So Decelerate is desynced to me, so that's fun.
Yeah, I've got him currently in P8. This is between Bully and Nut. He looks alright
he's
on my
P15 on my screen. He's in one of them. But at the moment, I think Mika's actually in a net lead at the moment on those mediums. Everyone will be pitting quite early on those, so don't know how early though.
Hero's done very well as well, being P6 on the hard tyres. He's going to be very racy towards the end of the race. You see Decelerate getting swamped by both Nut and Batemate. Nut tries to pull out of the slipstream, but he had Batemate alongside him. There's 3 wide going into turn 1. The Mercedes gets the position off the AlphaTauri, and now the Mercedes trying to hunt down the Williams in front of him as well as they go through turn 3.
If I disconnect, will it fix the desync is my question, or am I just going to have to deal with this?
Not sure. You might be able to disconnect and reconnect.
I'm going to try it. Because you say he's there and I'm confused. I saw a 2 wide in the one.
So we've already got King J down in 15th with a penalty, 5 seconds. I think that was for a severe collision just before that virtual safety car was called out. Okay, Hero having a look at Saxon now. Those softs look like they're dropping off already. The hards should not be able to overtake a soft runner that quickly or easily as he gets the job done into turn 1. A little bit further back. Bateman and Bully having a bit of a look at each other. Psycho and Racing Point. Oh, he's got rounds and he's in the wall and he's out of the race.
Oh, that's a safety car as
Psycho
well.
again. We've got a full safety car and oh no, Psycho every time he's in a good position, something like this seems to happen. And that was a massive, massive crash. Bring up the replay for that. We just jumped back. He completed the turn and it just looked like he kept too much acceleration through the corner.
Question.
Yeah,
Where's
just
delay on your screen?
There we go, and he's I don't know if he got tagged there from behind, but yeah, he's gone right around. It's very unfortunate.
Where's decelerate on your screen?
Decelerate is currently in P10.
It's fixed.
Front of keeper.
I fixed it.
So we got the safety car on track at the moment. So interesting to see what the soft runners do. Wingman's just coming through the final couple of corners now. I'd imagine they'll probably either go onto the hard tyre or do 2 medium stints from here.
Okay. So as you were doing that replay, Desiree actually picked up a 5-second and a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, there it is, drive-through. It's unfortunate for him. Not sure what that was for. Medium tyres for Wingman, and let's see what is Skins and Bandcamp going to do.
Look at that!
Skins onto the mediums, and Bandcamp having a double stack, so he's lost out a little bit here, but I don't think he really had another choice.
And look at that, Mika is in the lead. Never seen before.
So Bandcamp's still behind Skins, but I think he's about to be overtaken by Conrad. But he hasn't really lost out much from that double stack, so...
He's lost 1 position, but it's not that much.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's not too much. I think he's a little bit quicker than Conrad as well, so I don't think it'll take too much to get past.
At the moment, Mika leading safety car, Hero behind him on the hards. So, very well done.
Yeah, Haas doing very well. In a very, very good position.
So, we'll probably see mediums in pits about in the 6 laps, I think. 6 or 7 laps, memes will be in.
So I expect we'll see another lap of safety car after this one. Just let the field bunch up just a little bit more. Ali pit for the medium tyres down in P16 now after starting at the front of the grid. That's very disappointing for the Red Bull driver.
So, Racing Point having probably the worst weekend at the moment, besides the Tier 1 race. So Tier 2 Racing Point not having a great week at the moment. I believe this will be first time for Mika will be leading a safety car. It'll be interesting to see how he does the restart. As we got lights around at turn 2.
Oh yeah, there he's got wing damage as well. So lights broken his left front wing.
Oh, and it's under safety car.
Oh, he's run straight off and he's DNF'd as well. And I think
that's the deliberate.
Yeah, that's going to be looked at. Even Pepsi's dad there in the background is appalled by that move there from lights.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab that real quick.
Okay, there's a safety car coming in this lap.
I spelled it a little bit wrong. God damn it.
Here we go. Lights are out on the safety car. His wingman has collided with Bully and picked up a 5-second penalty. McLaren, unfortunately, going to have that added to his time after the race or at his next pit stop. Mika is controlling the grid now, keeping steady pace, around 70, 80 kilometres per hour. He's got those tyres nice and warm. And he's still not going yet. Not going yet. Keeper collided with quantum effects. Got a penalty. And yeah, Mika not doing a great restart here. He's slowly got up to 100. And they're away again. And it looks like his teammate's about to jump him into turn 1.
We got a few 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think they were caught out a little bit by that restart. A bit like Magello, but not quite the expensive aftermath.
Have a look. My keyboard's decided to stop working.
Gims is in the wall, apparently. He's broken his front wing. Yeah, there he is. So that's very, very unfortunate. A little bit further back, we've got Nut getting past Conrad. Bandcamp's already up to P7. See the Red Bulls going side by side there as well.
Baymay making a dive on Bully for a third. Oh, and Bully's around.
Oh, he's around.
Spinella
into the wall. There he is. Bully in the background. If I can catch up to him. Yeah, but he's lost his end plate. And I think that corner is going to be called Ferrari corner from now on, because that's where Smitty DNF'd as well. And I think Trin lost it there in his qualifying lap in Tier 1 a bit earlier this evening.
We just need Sachs to lose there, but I don't want him to lose it.
So yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Skins there, Wahid, but yeah, you're definitely right. Something happened. He's right at the back of the field as we've got Nemo who's gone around.
Is that? I can't remember what time that is.
Yeah, it's 11 or 12 or 13, one of those. He's drifting off on the inside there.
It's like 12.
Quantum Effect, I think, is trying to make a move on Ali. Can't quite get close enough.
So, Haas, I think they made the switch between drivers as well. So, Heroes are leading on those halves.
Yeah, I don't think it was a switch. I think Hero legitimately just had more pace on the restart. I'm not sure if he was better with his tyres or not.
Mika could have gone throttle locked on the restart as well. I don't know if... I didn't quite see the restart, how it happened. Could have been a throttle lock. But that 5-second wingman's carrying is actually going to hurt him on his pit stops now.
Conrad's having a pretty good race in the second Red Bull car. He's up to P11. He's dropped off a little bit from the lead train, but he's got a lot of keep guys behind as DRS is enabled.
Keeper actually quite close to Quantum at the moment.
Bluey has been able to get past. Oh no, Conrad stays in front of Bluey. I thought Bluey had a run on him there into turn 1, but shot by Conrad keeps him behind.
Oh, looks like 5 for P2 is having between Mika, Batemate, and Wingman. Batemate is actually extremely close to Mika.
Skin setting the fastest up of the race. Unfortunately, he's down to P17.
Wingman picks up 3 seconds.
Hopefully, he's able to push a little bit harder.
Wingman with the first track extension penalty.
Oh no,
yellow flag Bully's locked it.
3. He's just spun. He hasn't damaged his front wing by the looks of it, but yeah, unfortunate for him.
Looks like Wingman's very close to Bait at the moment. I think we might see a switch in positions. Wingman with the better run as well.
Yeah, the Williams covers the inside. He's done that
Extremely
pretty well.
defensive.
Yeah, he's managed to hold position, but he's had to back that quite a bit to let the McLaren have enough space. He's trying to send it up the inside of turn 3, but can't quite get it done. It runs a little bit wide as well, so I think Wingman's got the job done this time.
And Wingman is carrying fresher rubber over the top 4. Wouldn't be surprised if he's on the back of Mika by the end of this lap as well. But Mika is actually doing it well to stay with his teammate at the moment.
Mika has lost it. He's damaged his front wing just across the top of the hill in the final sector. And he's all the way down to P8 now.
It's all gone bad. This is...
And he comes into the pits. And
it went from good to worse.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him there.
Baymate's also in. Probably for a hard tyre. As Baymate comes out, yep, he exits with the hard tyre.
As Ali slicing up Nut into turn 1, goes around the outside, Nut up into the curb to give him space, and Ali backs out of it. Bit of caution. He's done incredibly well to be up in P6 after being all the way at the back of the grid. That's great work from him. Great recovery. He'll have to pit again though. He won't get to the end on those medium tyres. Bandcamp still in P3. Great work from him.
The lights crashed, but I screwed up.
And then right on the back of Hero for the race lead. Those hards starting to drop off a little bit. Ali putting a lot of pressure onto Nut. Boy, Ali has such a great exit out of the final corner. He gets it done before the DRS zone starts. Goes super defensive on the inside because Nut also has DRS. He's going to try around the outside, but he's not able to get far up and up alongside. Meanwhile, Wingman has got past Hero for the lead. And a fairly straightforward pass into turn 1. So turn 1 again. Skins and Mika side by side. Both of them were running quite well at the start of the race, but a few incidents and tumbled down the order. Saxo currently got Ali all over his gearbox. Ferrari driver doing very well, running in P4 at the moment. penalties now against his name. So
He does have that 5 second. He will serve.
yeah, he's going to do a lot of work to make up for that. It's a Red Bull and a Ferrari going side by side into turn 4. Ferrari covering the inside though, forces the Red Bull to yield. Can't quite get it positioned in the inside for turn 5. So just about at the halfway mark of this race now. And we should start to see, we just started on the mediums come into the pits shortly. The hard runners in the next couple of laps or so.
Nice little train formed.
Yeah, Saxa's doing pretty well to hold position. We got the Alfa Romeo though of Bluey. I think that is around at the top of the hill again.
And
he's able to catch
doesn't
it.
Doesn't look like he's got damage.
No, I think he just had a little spin to the infield. As we've got Ali getting past Saxa into turn 1. Moves up to P4. Great work from him. A bit further back, Keeper's got another train behind him as well. No, it's just Mr. Spicer right on his gearbox as well. Now, very close to the back of the Mercedes of Nut. See Ali's almost caught to the back of Bandcamp as well. Little lock up from the Mercedes there into the hairpin.
Quantum is on the older mediums.
Yeah, I'd expect him to come in either this lap or the next one. Onto the hards.
Or another
Actually, he could do another medium, you're right, because
he was
he was soft onto medium, so... And he does peel off. There we go.
The undercut.
Comes to the pit, so expect him to be onto a second set of mediums.
No, it looks like the hard tyre.
Oh, really?
No, it's mediums. My eyes are deceiving me. I swear, it looked white.
But there he goes, fresh set of mediums. So he'll come out around about peak 13. Some clean air as well, so should get a fairly... Oh no, he comes out in front of Decelerate, so he's in P12 with some clean air in front of him.
And he's got Baymate, who's on the...
Reasonably fresh hards, but yeah, he's got a 7-second gap. Should be able to push, and hopefully for him, a bit of an undercut as well.
There's Mr. Spice, 3 seconds.
Yeah, a bit of trouble through that chicane. For the back of his teammate Batemate. Right on the back of King J in the Alfa Romeo.
Ollie on the back of Band at the moment.
Yeah, I wonder how long they're going to wait to come into the pits for another set of mediums.
Might be now. They might pit to cover Quantum's undercut.
Yeah, Batemate gets the move done at the end of the second DRS straight.
None of them go in to cover that undercut.
Interesting. Maybe they're going for the softs, but I would have thought that would have been a bit of a stretch. Tire degradation.
How many laps did the softs go?
It looked like about 6 or 7 for those who qualified on them at the start. We haven't seen anyone with fresh softs yet.
Fresh softs, I believe, will go... You can just say it can go 1 extra, so probably 8.
Yeah.
7 or 8.
And the mediums can do about half the race, so yeah, could squeeze it out. Seeing a little bit of spread throughout the field now. Ali and Bandcamp closest on track at the moment. Not staying within DRS range of Saxa though. But everyone else more than a second out of range. Thanks for the follow, Dario Passon.
Wingman's starting to build a gap to Hero. He's going to want to make a 5-second gap, so he's able to get that pit off as Hero actually comes in.
There we go. So he's off those hard tyres, probably on mediums to the end.
Now, Hero doesn't want to be released into traffic. That'll probably be the worst thing for him.
Come out in front of Bait Mate.
I believe he will come out in front of him.
Close.
I think he will. Yes.
Yeah. So he's got a little bit of a gap, so that's good. But he will. There's only a couple of seconds behind Bluey, so he will catch him. His quantum effect set the fastest lap of the race, so that undercut is going to work out very nicely for him. He's still got a 4-second gap in front of him.
That was 7 seconds last lap.
The longer those leaders stay out on those old mediums, they're risking losing some time to Quantum, who was the first to pull the trigger. I'd expect them to come in this lap.
King J on softs.
That's ambitious. 13 laps on the softs.
That is.
Keep an eye on him. He might struggle to get to the end.
He could surprise us.
Nut doing incredibly well at the moment. He's within half a second of Saxa, so he's doing fantastically. As
Wingman stays out.
And we find Nebo in the pit lane at the moment, changing onto the medium tyres as well.
We got no one blinking for the undercut. Nope, Saxa's in. The Saxa, and we got Keeper in.
Yep, so a couple of laps later than Quantum Effects, as we see Ali trying to go for a move on Bandcamp.
As Bluey also comes in.
And
so Hero's just been gifted more fresh air.
Ali's got the move done. So let's have a bit of a look here. Bandcamp just dropping off a little bit now of Ali. I expect they should be coming into the pits shortly. I really hope they're not trying to go onto the softs. I don't think they're going to make it to the end here. Quantum Effects has jumped Sax up, so he's clear of him now by a couple of seconds.
Pretty sure Bluey came in before Keeper, and Keeper actually got out ahead. It's very interesting. Keeper actually going hard.
Yeah, Bluey trying to pass him around the outside of turn 4. Oh, he's very, very wide, nearly touching the grass, but he's got the inside now for turn 5. And has to give him a bit of space, but he has got the move done, and he's got the inside as well, which will help him going into turn 6. And he just doesn't have the pace. I don't know if Keeper's using his overtake to just stay in front there, but
Wingman
very well.
So we got Wingman, Ali, Band all in pit lane. Knight actually stays out a few more laps. So I think Nelson actually trying to make the soft tyres.
Bluey trying to go around the outside of the Mercedes Keeper at the hairpin. He actually runs off the track there and can't get the job done. Hero setting the fastest lap of the race with 1:17.698.
And he's undercut Wingman quite a bit. He actually might get done by Bait. But Quantum is actually undercut Band at the moment.
So Ali's come out onto the soft tyre, Bandcamp on the medium. So Ali has managed to stay out just in front of Quantum Effects, who's jumped Bandcamp. Yeah, it'll be interesting as Bluey finally gets the job done on Keeper into turn 1. Skins getting pretty close to the back of Conrad. Run on to turn 1. Might have the pace to get alongside this time. Has a look around the outside of turn 3. I don't think that's going to work out for the Renault driver, but Conrad does give him a little bit of space. And he's covering off the inside line. Renault not able to get the job done there. Covers the inside again. Driver was searching for some space, and he does get the move done. Looks like Conrad just backing out there.
Nut and Mr. Spicer both in pit lane. Not actually got the softs, as I mentioned last lap. Mr. Spicer, I believe he's serving a 5-second penalty in switching to softs as well.
It's Bluey setting the fastest lap of the race, yeah.
I believe Ali's going to nick that one away, though, on those soft tyres, because he's already caught up to Bait Mate.
But how are those tyres going to go towards the end? It's a big ask to try and get them to the last 10 laps.
Yes. It is. But you want to use all the grip. Well, as much grip as you can in the opening laps. Wingman might lose out to Ollie as well.
Ali just half a second behind Batemate. P3.
Now, if that wasn't a safety car, the medium soft strat won't work. But since there was a safety car, it's actually helped him quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. So we see Ali's got a really good run on Batemate here. He's not even covering the inside. Ali sends it into turn 1. Gets the job done.
We got Miss Spicer going past the auxiliary into turn 1 as well on those softs.
Yeah, Bluey looking very racy behind him as well, trying to fight over the last point. Accelerate been on those hards for 23 laps. So surely he's coming in to get softs.
I'm pretty sure that's the starting tyre still. I don't think he's pitted. Well, I'm going to check.
Unless he pit on lap 1, he may have been one of those drivers caught up in the incident.
Nah, he did not pit.
Oh, wow, okay.
He's the only driver to get.
Don't know that this is the best strategy because he's going to come out probably about P17.
It's going to hurt him.
That's probably not that far down, probably P15 or 16. But yeah, even with soft tyres, he's going to struggle to overtake.
Zali goes quickest. Pretty sure Mrs. Spice might take that away from him.
As Dezelle does pull into the pits now to get rid of those old hards. Louis moves up to P10. Mrs. Spice is setting fast lap of the race with 117.252. Seeing the margins between everyone expand out a little bit. The closest one at the moment is Bandcamp is caught up to the back of Quantum Effect now. In DRS range. Looks like Accelerate will come out of the pits just behind Skins and in front of Conroe. So yeah, P15.
Nice prediction. No, didn't you said 15, didn't you, or 17?
I said 17 originally, but yeah, the gaps are a bit expanded at the back there, so 15 was a bit better. But yeah, we've got Bandcamp is almost in DRS range here of Quantum Effects. Is he going to be able to do it across the line? 8/10. I think he's just got it, within a couple of tenths, so he should have DRS now on the McLaren, who's got DRS on the Williams. Oh no, it's a ghost of, I think that's Nemo. He's lapped down at the moment, unfortunately.
Got,
we've lost Bluey. Bluey has gone off at the final corner. I don't think he's gone into the wall, but he's definitely lost it.
No damage, but those tyres are going to be worse.
Yeah, absolutely. He's only been on them for a couple of laps, but yeah, that's going to take him a fair chunk of performance out of them. Yeah,
and Ollie's actually catching Wingman quite fast. What I wish Codemasters would do this, but I know they won't do this, is they need to put a gap from, like, you can select the driver and then tell the gap behind them to where they come out.
Yeah,
for the spectators.
Like the in the real race, you've got the AWS predictor, which says the probability of overtake, because the longer you stay out, the more of an undercut you'll get. So yeah, that'd be a nifty little feature.
But it probably won't happen.
No, I mean, it's maybe EA will bring it out as some DLC we can pay for.
EA will make us $1. You must pay to have this feature.
Alright, so Bandcamp, well within the slipstream now of the McLaren. He's got 6 laps to go, so he'll just be biding his time. He's a very patient driver, very calculating. It's a lot like, I guess, Alan Prost in a way, a bit of a professor. Likes to be called the Dragon, though. You don't want to poke him too much, or he'll breathe some fire down the back of your neck. And he's doing pretty well in this race, but you've just got to be careful he doesn't drop out of DRS range here. Just almost, yeah, he's just crossing over into the 1 second range, so I wonder if Quantum is just picking up the pace a little bit. He knows that having the Tier 1 former world champion behind him, it's not a nice feeling. Currently the closest battle on track at the moment. Ali, though, is just a second and a half behind Wingman up in P3, so we'll keep a close eye on that one.
I think the softs are starting to give out a tiny bit. Ali's not able to close that gap anymore.
Well, we did notice that in the first stint, the drivers who started on the softs were getting picked off by hard runners. So, yeah, the softs really don't have a lot of performance in them, and just looking at Ali's time, he's already lost a 10 since I last mentioned his gap, so I wonder if they've just faded. And maybe Batemate and Quantum will start coming back at him. Quantum touching the grass there at the exit of turn 4. He's obviously pushing pretty hard to try and keep Bands away, but he's within half a second now. It's as close as he's been for the last few laps.
As Baymay picks up a 3 second as well.
Just have a look at the penalties at the moment. Yeah, Wingman's got 3, so does Batemay, Saxa, Nuts. No, Nut doesn't have one. Mr. Spicer's got 1 though. Bluey's got 1. Skins has 6. Dezelrate, Conrad, Bully, and Nemo all have 3.
I always tend to see that it's more the back of the field getting penalties. Just because they push like the tiniest bit harder to catch up.
I think as well it could be that, generally speaking, the people who are at the top of the field put in a lot more time to practice, and generally that means that you're going to be a bit more consistent and less likely to make mistakes, whereas if you don't practice a lot or at all, you may still be good from time to time, but occasionally you're just going to... Oh, is Bandcamp making a pass on Quantum Effect into turn 1, so he's got the move done. Like
Quantum's not...
I think he may have actually been out of ERS. It's only got 8% left, so I think that was...
I don't think he's going to be happy with that one. He's going to want that back.
Bandcamp up to P5, and just a second and a half behind Batemate, who's been on those hard tyres for 15 laps. And has a 3-second penalty as well.
As long as both drivers can stay within that 3 second of Batemate, they can move up one. But Wingman needs to gain 1.3 on Ali to keep second. With the tyres dying, he might actually do it.
Keep an eye on Mika as well. He's within a second of Keeper for final points paying position, so keep an eye on that as well. Yeah, Ali's tyres have died off. He's gone to over 2 seconds now, so he's lost half a second in the space of a couple of laps. Yeah, Band's going to have to be on the defensive now. He's got Quantum. Oh, Quantum's had a bad exit though. And he's lost a couple of tenths. And he might lose some straight line speed as well for good measure. He's got DRS.
Nope.
See how's he going to go. Is Band going to cover the inside? Just see the red light on the back of the McLaren's flashing. This indicates he's got less than 10% ERS. Too many acronyms in this sport. Going to jump to, Conrad trying to make a move on Bully at the fast right hand. He couldn't quite get it done and dropped it into the gravel. Going to jump a little further back again to Bandcamp and Quantum Effect battling it through turn 4, and they're both gone to the grass. So much commitment from the two drivers there.
Synchronized lines at the moment.
We've also got the battle between Keeper and Mika converging now for P10. Keep an eye on how close they get there as well. Captain Kirk describing Band as the smooth operator. Captain Clean, as he likes also to be referred, with his squeaky clean record of in-race penalties for track limits. Just going to jump down to Mika quickly, see if he's going to make a move up to Keeper. Oh, keeper's very defensive, blocking the inside line. Not going to get it done. Jumping back up to Quantum Effect. See if he's able to. That's not Quantum Effect. There we go. That's Quantum Effect.
Which one did you go to?
So that selected him, but it had Bandcamp's perspective. He just hasn't had an ERS. He hasn't managed it well enough, and Band's just able to give it a little squirt of overtake and is able to run away with it. Jumping up to Skins now. He's pretty close to the back of King J for 13th place as well.
So Ollie's tyres are full on died at the moment.
Yeah, he's lost a second and a half since last lap, so...
He's no man's land.
As Mika's managed to get past Keeper, moves up to P10, so he's grabbed the last point. As Skins blitzes past King J for P13. Let's have a little bit of a look around. Quantum Effect still hanging in within DRS range Bandcamp, but it's dropped over to half a second.
These two kind of need to work together to catch Baitmate if they want to place.
I think it's probably a bit of a tall ask, I think. There's only 2 laps to go as Hero has crossed the line to start lap 32.
Ollie's pitted. Ollie's in the pits.
I wonder if it was at risk of a puncture.
Might have been. But that's just cost him.
Yeah, that's cost him big time. He got the strategy all wrong there.
Oh, as Quantum's going to go around the outside turn 1.
Well, he's got the move done on Bands. He's got it done.
Now he needs to focus on Baitmate now.
So what's going to happen now with Nut and Mr. Spicer? They're both on softs about the same age as Ali's. Are they going to be at risk of a puncture here on the second last lap?
They will lap later.
Got Bluey making a move on Keeper on the pit straight as well. Jump back up to Bandcamp. He's just a couple of tenths behind Quantum Effect now. Looks like he might be struggling a little bit out there. He's got much younger tyres than Quantum Effect, but I don't know, maybe running in dirty air for such a long time is getting a bit more wear than you'd expect.
Quantum did lock up quite a bit into turn 5, and I think Band might have touched him. Like slightly. He might have...
I wonder though, maybe this is part of Ben's strategy. Maybe he's waiting until the final lap to make a pass into turn 1. He's still within 4 tenths. He's got plenty of battery. What's Quantum's like? Not great. So I reckon this is part of
Quantum's going to use all that to stay ahead, though.
Probably will. There's a little bit of a wobble there from the Renault. He did struggle in the dirty air there, but he's got the ERS open. DRS open and the ERS on overtake.
It's all gone.
Oh. And here he goes, he's catching, he picks the outside line, and they're side by side. The McLaren does have the... Oh, they're going to touch. They do touch a little bit, but Bandcamp's able to keep it together.
Oh, 2 tenths between Baitmate and Quantum, though. This is going to be close for Quantum to get that podium.
Right, because Baitmate does have a 3-second penalty, so we'll keep an eye on that one when they cross the line.
They both went extremely wide up 4, almost touching the grass. And now Bluey's battling with Mika for the last points.
I think Bandcamp's missed his opportunity, unfortunately. Couldn't quite do it. I think he needed to go for the inside, as it looks like...
Skins is off.
Skins has gone off his,
Quantum has a skid! Quantum has a skid.
Oh, is Bandcamp going to be able to do it? Can't tell. There's stuff happening in every part of the track at the moment. It's hard to keep up, but Hero has come across the line to win the race from Wingman in P2. Baitmate will come across the line in P3, and Quantum Effect, that little mistake has cost him. He's not going to be able to jump Baitmate. Bandcamp comes across the line in P5, and we've got, yes, Skins is really struggling. He's broken his front wing after an incident at turn 3. We've got Saxer in P6. Nut comes across the line, P7. And Mr. Spicer, P8. Ali and P9 does set the fastest lap of the race.
I think he just won fastest lap.
And Mika comes across the line in P10. Does get that final point of the race.
As Conrad's retired.
He's lost it. He's lost it. Oh no! What a shame. Yeah, the Red Bull there losing the fast right-hander. He'd had such a good race. He'd actually been battling really well with the likes of Bully and Skins throughout that race. It's very unfortunate he couldn't make it to the checkered flag. Yeah, unfortunate race here from Skins. Just had a little bit of a drama after the safety car restart. wasn't quite able to capitalise on his position. Comes across the line, he'll be in P16. Conrad still finishes P17 though, he was on the lead lap, whereas Nemo unfortunately was a lap down in 18th.
Well, that was exciting. Oh,
Hero driver of the day with his avatar not actually on the screen for the photo. Well done to him. But yeah, congratulations Hero for the race win.
exciting few opening laps.
Yeah, it was pretty hectic. It was a bit of a period in the middle where everyone kind of spread out a bit. But yeah, the start of the race was absolutely mental. Lots going on there. And then a nice few battles to round off the race as well for Tier 2. So all in all, a pretty good night for AFR. Tier 1 race was pretty exciting as well. So of course, yeah, Hero, congratulations to him for the win. We got Wingman in P2 and Batemate P3. We got Quantum, Bandcamp, Saxon, Nut, Ali, Mr. Spicer, Mika, rounding out the top 10. Ali obviously picking up the extra point for fastest lap. And we've got Keeper, Bluey, 12th place. Good result for their first race with AFR. We've got King J, Decelerate, Bully, Skins, Conrad, Nemo, and our 2D and F drivers, Lights and Psycho. Thank you everyone for joining us for tonight for AFR. And we'll just bring up, let's see what we've got for next week. So obviously we've got Friday night will be our Formula 2 race. So please join us there from 8:30 PM Melbourne time. And then next Sunday night we'll be having the Canadian Grand Prix from 7 PM Melbourne time. So it'll be a good one. Personally, one of my favourite tracks in the grid. So we'll be there for that one. And looking forward to it. Well, thank you very much, Poly Pepsi, for joining me in the commentary box this evening for Tier 2. Thank you all for joining us as well. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. I've been Gus Rules, and we'll see you next weekend.
Goodbye.